Episode 14 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. Today's episode recaps the Week 9 and 10 games, and then analyzes the Week 11 matchups for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. They also will discuss how well they did predicting the other Week 9 games, as well as recapping the results from their Week 9 and 10 fantasy matchups.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings with your hosts, Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
Fresh off our bye week, we are glad to be back with all you football fans, Scolders, and the 12s. Welcome, episode 14
1-4
of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with my co-host, Captain Vuk.
What's happening, y'all?
And the Maverick, our production engineer, Mike.
Cover your ears.
Top Gun, Cruz.
Hit him. Hit him with some countermeasures, Top Gun. Shake him off you. Hit the deck.
All right, we got another great episode in store for you today, as we're going to recap the Week 9 and 10 games, and then take a deep, not fly, but dive, got a right one that time, into the Week 11 matchups for our respective teams. Also, we'll predict the outcomes of all the Week 11 games, as well as discussing our fantasy football team results from the Week 9 and 10 matchups, and our projected Week 11 lineups. As always, I've done it already. Fill up your solo cup. Sit back and get ready.
Let's do it
for another lakeside fantastic voyage. Cat,
what's cracking, bro?
I'm back from a little R&R.
Welcome
off
back.
the bye week.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
And I know, as usual and always, you're ready to roll.
Gotta be. That's the life of a Seahawk. So check it out. And I know you know this, but we haven't won in Lambeau Field since 1999. When Prince Rogers Nelson, your guy and mine, was prepping the world on how to party that year. The Seattle Seahawks, my beloved crew, were shut out by a team that shouldn't have shut anybody out. But you know what? They figured out a way to do it. The roadmap for the Vikings is clearly laid out for everybody, so go check it out. The road to Valhalla was explained by Odin himself. So find that on the podcast. Seahawks, our route is a bit more murky, but don't worry. I'll clear it up for the Emerald Nation. Be Gold, you know what it is. Let's do this thing.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear the road. I'm sure there's some brim and firestone coming with that.
Something's coming.
Okay, let's start as we always do on a lighter side with some questions and open items. So, Cap, before I get to the football question, I noticed that you smelled handsomely good when you walked in today. So, what I would like to know is, what is that cologne that you can share with the fans?
That is too funny. Well, you know what? I appreciated it. I needed a little pick-me-up today because we had a bad week, bro. So I pulled out this cologne called Millionaire, which is nothing like my lifestyle at all, but it smelled good.
Millionaire. Okay.
It's called Millionaire, yeah. And I got to try to keep my mind right and stay positive at all times.
All right, so
and that's helping me.
And you, like me, you know, you were out shopping for cologne for other people, and you happened to pick one up for yourself. back in the day, because, for me, Cologne is right guard right now. But, back in the day, my go-to cologne, I'm pretty sure they still make it because I still have a bottle. It was by Davidoff, and it was called Cool Water.
I remember that. I absolutely remember that.
Top Gun just gave me the gun. So
he gave you the double gun?
I mean, now that is some good smelling stuff right there.
That's encouraging.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that works. That cologne works.
That was a big deal back in the day.
It was.
Everybody could recognize every other smell.
Exactly.
And, you don't want to smell like the other cat next to you.
Exactly. I had Cool Water cologne. I had Cool Water shaving cream. I had Cool Water aftershave. I had
shaving cream.
Stay nice and clean. There you go. All right. So let's get to the second question. Cap.
Yes, sir.
Can I put your thinking cap on this one? If you started a team today, and here's where it's going to get difficult.
It's already difficult.
But could not pick a Seahawk player, which current player would you pick to be the captain of your team and why? But hang on one sec.
Okay.
Here are the rules. So you need to pick who's going to be the captain of your team and why. Cannot be a Seahawk. Has to be a current player. And no QBs and no running backs.
Wow. No QBs, no running backs. Can't be a Seahawk. The captain of my team. So I need somebody that's poised. Somebody that can maintain their bearing under pressure. And I also need somebody that's relentless. So now I am thinking of an offensive lineman, but I don't know all the old linemen in the league.
Okay, so why don't I give my answer first? You have a 30-second pause to dwell on it. I'll answer first because I realized it was going to be one of those where you had to give it some thought. And I picked both rookies as I'm preparing for the long haul. Okay. And I did pick an offensive lineman as well. So my first pick would be, because I like two captains.
So are you picking three? Okay, you're picking two. Because usually there's one for offense, one for defense, and one for special teams.
Yeah, but everything I do, I pick two.
Well, 2 is a multiple of 12, so I can roll with that.
Right, exactly. It's part of the 12. So
all right.
My first captain, and this is in no specific order because either one could be the lead, and it's an alternate. So my first one would be Cincinnati wide receiver, rookie Jamar Chase.
Oh, you like that guy. I do too, though.
He's a dynamic playmaker, route runner who leads by example. And he's an example for his teammates to follow. My second captain, who could be the captain. Oh, we're gonna hit the captain soundtrack. What?
Hit him up.
All right.
Everybody report.
My second choice for captain would be LA Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater.
Tell me about him. I don't know much about him.
He is a mauler. I think Chargers had like they picked before the Vikings. They had a very early round pick, like the 8th or 9th pick. He's a mauler who sets the tone for the rest of the O-line. Tone goes a long way in being a leader. So I got Jamar Chase and I got Rashawn Slater as people or individuals that I would pick to be the captain of my team.
I like that. So now I've had some time to think, which I appreciate. And I'm going to go with both defensive line and offensive linemen. I want folks in the trenches because every play is violent. Every play is a collision. And they show poise when they don't get thrown out of the game and doing goofy stuff. So defensively, I'm going to have Aaron Donald, defensive lineman of the Rams.
Great player.
He's a leader. He's a clean player. He's relentless. He never stops, even though they got blown out just recently, or it was a beatdown. But he is as consistent as they come, and I like his poise. So he's a leader to me defensively. And then offensively, his name is Alejandro Villanueva. He's an offensive lineman. I don't know if he still plays for Pittsburgh or not. I think he's with Baltimore now.
Okay, yep.
But he is an absolute leader, and he was an Army Ranger.
He was drafted by the Steelers.
So he's got consistent leadership skills, passed some of the most challenging leadership courses on earth, and he still leads by example.
There you go.
And
so there's our answers. You know, Cap, I knew that one would put your thinking cap on because as soon as typically you pick everybody that's a Seahawk.
So you shut that down right out the chute.
I shut that down right in the rules. And then I knew QBs and running backs were easy to go to. So
that's true.
That's
a good question right there. I like that.
It's a good question. What do you got for me, Cap?
All right, so I have 2 questions for B Gold. Number 1, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Favorite Christmas movie? Wow.
There's a lot. And if you want me to come back to your second question.
No.
All right, it's coming.
I've only seen it in black and white, but I think they have colorized it lately. A lot of stuff I talk about comes on black and white.
Well, you did go through your tenure of how long you've been a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
So
I think I like 42nd Street.
okay, that's a classic.
Yeah, classic. It's actually, you know what? That's not my favorite though.
What's your favorite?
My favorite, but you know what? This is kind of a movie that's kind of a combo Thanksgiving Christmas movie.
If it's mine, we're gonna have some issues.
No,
there.
but now I'm gonna even change the name of it. It's March of the Wooden Scolders.
that title right there just threw me completely off.
You've
So,
never seen March of the Wooden Soldiers?
I haven't seen it.
You have never seen March of the Wooden Soldiers?
No.
Are you guys kidding?
Is it a spinoff the Nutcracker?
No.
I don't know it.
No. No, neither of you guys. Knowing me, I called it Mean Machine. It wasn't Mean Machine. It was a Longest Yard. So there's it's called March of the Wooden Soldiers. And they actually fire up the guys who look like wooden soldiers and they come alive in the movie. It's pretty awesome. Yes, it's Laurel and Hardy movie.
It's a comedy. That's another black and white
It's a
movie.
delight for youngsters and a treat for grown-ups.
I don't think Bigo likes color movies.
Now,
Have you seen any?
now it is a lot. Now I'm telling you,
I
you
have to
guys
check it
have.
out. I will check it out
I will
because I
tell
like
you this.
classics. I'll go
This
back and
is
check it
an
out.
open item, and it's not just for you, Cap. Top Gun. You always talk about movies. Top Gun. If he has to write a written report for us to read, you need to report back something on March of the Wooden Soldiers. I'm telling you, it's a classic.
I have to go check it out. Regardless, now I have to go check it out.
Okay.
All right.
What's the second one you get?
Well, and just so I get mine out there, my favorite Christmas movies, there's a lot, but one of them is it's either Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall in that cast,
I've seen that. Great.
or Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Charlie
So
Sheen.
those are Christmas movies?
I believe, yeah. Holiday movies
They're not holiday movies, Mike?
Coming to America is
at all?
not. No, Trading Places.
No, you know what? Yeah, which movie am I thinking about? I'm thinking of Trading Places.
Trading Places is
Yeah, with
definitely
Eddie
a
Murphy.
Christmas
Okay, train. Oh, and I
Yeah.
saw that. That's a great movie.
Yeah, Coming to America is just one of my favorite comedies of all time.
So-
one of them.
Now we got movies out there, and I don't even have it written down. But let's talk about the 3 movies I watched on the airplane ride to Aruba.
Let's hear it.
I watched The Wrath of Man. It's about breaking into the armored trucks, and
Okay.
so I'm not going to explain about the movies. I'm telling you what I saw. Wrath of Man. You got to check that out. By the way, they're probably all ancient. Wrath of Man. I don't even look up when they came from. Wrath of Man was one. The other one was a documentary on a pizza story, and it talked about the 3 pizza joints in New Haven, Connecticut,
Really?
and it was
That's a cool city. I've been
it
there.
was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I've been into the city as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've passed through there.
yeah.
Sally's they talked about, Modern and Pepe's. Now, I passing through there at different times have tasted all 3. And matter of fact, Modern is in other states. It's in other states. It's in other cities in that little state of Connecticut. So I think I went to a casino once. I might have tried it. Anyway, Modern sticks out for me, but it tells about how the neighborhood evolved and all this other kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty good. And then the last one I saw was a movie called Old.
Okay.
And Top Gun told me who made the movie, but it's just a quick blurb. It's about people getting invited to this resort. When they show up, they put them on this van and they drive them to this beach and say, "Hey, leave your passports here. We got you. You're covered." They bring them to this beach, walk through this rock tunnel, and they come out on this beautiful paradise beach. But all of a sudden, they start aging quickly. They only got less than 24 hours to live, and it's chaos.
That sounds like
It's chaos. It was this guy Shawmaker or something?
that sounds like Star Trek mixed with Area 51. B Gold.
Shyamalan. Okay, so what's his first name?
M. Night.
Oh,
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch movies unless I'm on a plane.
Yeah. wow.
Anyway, Old. It's a great movie, and it turns out that there was more of an experiment to try, because when they do experiments on tumors and stuff, it takes them years and years to get the research. But by having this little place, they'd send these people there who were either
The unsuspecting.
unsuspecting and give them a cocktail,
Specimens.
prepare them, but they would find out how fast a tumor would grow in 24 hours, which normally would take 50 years.
Wow.
So it was pretty intense. Anyway, I'll script again.
That sounds intense.
I do that a lot.
And I have to go back real quick because in Coming to America, there is some Christmas in there. There's definitely some Christmas in there. There's a present given to his love interest and some.
So out of 100% of the percentage for Christmas in the movie, what are we at? 0.5 or?
No, I'd say like 25, 30%.
25 to 30%. Okay.
It's a holiday kind of movie. It's a good
right.
feel. That's a stretch. Top Gun said that's a stretch, man. All right, let's move.
And you know what? You guys finally got to hear Top Gun in the background there with a little vocal. So I think he's loosening up.
He's ready to go.
He's loosening up. All right, let's move on to some open items from the previous episode. We're 10 minutes in.
Real quick.
I'm on the first paragraph.
I know, this is real quick. I got to get one question for the real deal.
Oh, yeah, you had another one.
All right, if the real deal was a truck driver, and shout out to all truck drivers out there keeping all the goods and services moving across the country. But what would the real deal deliver and where would he deliver it?
You know, we're just going to go back to another episode. Ice cream.
Oh, really? The real deal will drop off ice cream?
And I'm bringing it to my house.
All right, that'll work.
I'm hijacking the truck.
And we know what flavor.
chocolate chip.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that, you know, what would I want to
I was thinking he would be taking that to the Viking land.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of good answers. You know what? Mine would have to be one of those multi-trucks. Kind of like when you go to Baskin Robbins and there's a Dunkin' Donuts there and sometimes a Subway.
Yeah.
I'd have to have 3 different things I could deliver.
Multitasker.
Right?
No doubt.
Three different items I could deliver. Now, next week, I will tell you those 3 items, but ice cream is number 1.
Okay, that's a follow-up for you then.
That's a follow-up.
Okay.
All right, so follow-up. I got to write myself a little note here. Follow-up, ice cream.
Truck driver.
Cream and
Drop
drop
off.
All right, so
I'm good with the questions.
let's move on to some open items. I only have one, Cap, from, actually, we haven't been here in 2 weeks, or at least a week and a half, so 40-yard dash time. So, Top Gun screwed me last week, or 2 weeks ago, by not coming in, so I couldn't get to the facility to do the test time. Because when I time myself, I run faster than I time myself.
When you time yourself, you do?
Yeah,
You hit
because
that
I have to
thing-
hit it,
yeah.
run, and then stop and hit it to stop.
Right.
So I was dependent on Top Gun, and he blew me off. But now I got back, and we were set to go today, on Monday. Sorry, and but while I was on vacation last week, I sprained my ankle. I sent you guys a picture.
You did. It was
Yep.
blown up pretty good.
Right, and I was from playing beach football in the sand. So
You got to go hard no matter where you're at.
we got to push the 40-yard dash time out a couple weeks. And it's not because I can't run, but it definitely would affect my time.
Well, you'll heal faster than anybody regardless.
So after drinking some mead on the beach, I was back at the beach the next day competing
There you go.
and winning.
Not even 24 hours.
And winning. Now I was playing against a bunch of 6 or 7-year-olds.
But hey, competition is competition.
A victory's a victory. When they look at the box score the next day,
Get the W.
they didn't look at exactly. So anyway, that's the only open item I have, Kevin. You have any open items?
I had a couple of them real quick. One of them, I mentioned that, you asked me about my bucket list. And I said I wanted to check out the Negro League Museum, but I couldn't remember where it was at. Well, it's in Kansas City, Missouri. And a guy named Bob Kendrick is the president of it. And the podcast, which is called Black Diamonds, is awesome. The second open item was you giving me a task of checking to see how many Seahawks I could find that played for other teams or the Vikings that went into the Hall of Fame. One of them was Warren Moon. I couldn't believe I didn't think of it at the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly.
And he was in the twilight of his career, sadly, and he was still good, but he, ended up going up to the Canadian Football League for 6 seasons, won 5 Grey Cups, which is their championship. Then he came and played with the Houston Oilers, as you know.
Yeah, I love the
Play for your
love
Vikings.
your blue.
And he went into the Hall of Fame as a Houston Oiler, but that's cool. And then Steve Hutchinson obviously went in the Hall of Fame as a Viking, even though he should have.
Oh, he did go in as a Viking?
That's what I read. And
Oh,
he
you
should
read
have
that
went in
because
as a Seahawk.
I didn't see that he actually picked it.
I think they had him
then
in
you know
as
what?
a Viking, and I was like,
He
he should
has-
have went in as a Seahawk, man.
He's earned a space on the tattoo.
He might be. Yeah, that might have solved the whole dilemma.
You're gonna have to send me that link. I need some
Okay,
proof. I need
I'll
some
try to
proof of
verify
this.
it for you.
I need some proof because I can't remove it once I put it on there.
Oh, that's true. And then the last thing in my homework assignment that you gave me, which I did not know, And did you know this, that Carl Eller played for us?
Yes,
In
I've-
70? Now, you mentioned that in the early history, didn't you?
In the early history.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Yeah, he's clearly a Viking, part of your purple people eaters,
Yep.
but and a Hall
Played
of
his,
Famer.
I think he played his final season with you guys.
But in 1979, he played with us,
Yes.
and that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
So those are my open items, my man.
All right, awesome. You're still up. It's time for the tip of the cap from the cap.
Captain.
All right, I'm running to the bridge. No, I'm going to the engine room for this one. So check it out. Cam Newton. Cam Newton is in a rebirth with the Carolina Panthers, and against a very solid Arizona Cardinals defense, he finished the game 3 of 4 for 8 yards with a 2-yard touchdown run on his first touch of the game. He also added 14 yards on the ground, and he only was in there for 8 snaps. But his teammates described basically his swag, confidence, and just baller status, and that extra energy that certain players bring to a team. Him doing that. I mean, he's been out for a minute. He hasn't kicked up any dust. He's just basically been waiting for another opportunity, and he got it. He didn't cry. He handled his business and waited for his opportunity. So I got to give him a tip of the cap for that. That's a sign of maturity that I wouldn't have expected in an earlier version of Cam Newton. So tip of the cap, Cam. I hope you keep it up, man.
Agreed. So tip of the cap from the cap
Captain.
to
That's me. What's popping?
to Cam Newton. Mysteriously, I wonder why Belichick cut him, and I'm surprised, like you said, that he didn't say anything. So he has grown up, and he deserves that. Do I think it's sustainable? No.
Who knows? I mean, he only had 8 reps.
I mean, but
And-
didn't he just play this week too in the whole game?
He had 8 reps in the last game, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought Darnold was out this week. That was 2 weeks ago. Remember, we've been off a week. I think the first game he played 8 reps, and this week he played the whole game.
I think this was his first week back.
Oh, was it?
I believe so, but we can double check.
We'll have
that.
to check that.
Yeah, we can check that out.
Again, we're
I was in
coming.
a fog after what I witnessed
We're
with
coming
my
back.
team.
We're coming back from a bye week, so we're still trying to get our feet from underneath us. Anyway, moving on to the real deal moment of the week. You're gonna love this one, Cap.
I can't wait.
Seattle Seahawks
Let's hear it.
coach Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah. I know. Like what?
He
Oh.
attempted to challenge a referee's call during the game at Green Bay. He was unable. He must be getting a little senior citizen.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
He
Don't
was
go there.
unable to find the red challenge flag in his left jacket pocket.
So what do he do instead?
He pulled out what looked like an electric hand warmer. So he's cold, and he dropped that to the turf.
He dropped it to the turf, and you know
Dropped the turf.
he made the "Come On Man" segment on Monday Night Football.
He exposed himself.
Yeah, man,
Ugh.
that was a bad series of unfortunate events that night.
So you saw that.
I did.
You probably knew I was going to come with that.
I didn't think you'd miss it.
No.
I didn't think you'd miss that. If you saw it once, I knew it was going to show up here. So that's fine, though.
All right.
That's good.
So let's move on to the Bam Bam moment of the week.
There were quite a few.
Cap, you want to lead us off on this one? I have one
Yeah, I'll
too.
do it. I'll do
and
it.
I have one too. Now, I've changed mine from the Bam Bam moment of the week to the Scolger Bam Bam moment of the week.
Okay, you keeping Bam Bam. Man.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's
That's respect.
It's his spot, but
That's
I
respect.
have it's from my perspective.
Yep. No, I'll go first. And there were several major collisions in the league this week, B Gold, including several deliveries by the 49ers last night on Monday night against the Rams, including a few delivered by my guy George Kittle. And maybe I'll pull up his stat line before we finish today from last night. But however, the winner this week was in the Saints and Titans game with about 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter of the game. Deonta Freeman of the Titans, number 7. It was not a lucky number for you, brother, because you got bam-bammed by Demario Davis. If you didn't see that collision, it was a sudden, immediate momentum stopper. Stopped him in his tracks and drove his shoulder pads into the dirt. Textbook hit.
All right, good.
Just like what Top Gun does when he's doing his ops.
Exactly. So, like I did last week, I need you to send me the link to that,
Will do.
and I'll send you the link to mine
Will do.
because and we always include Top Gun on that, so he gets to see it as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I
I'll
think
send
it's when we come up with these ones that from games that we're watching either on the Red Zone channel, we see a highlight. Sometimes we have to pass the information along to the other guy so we can take a peek at it.
Why not? It's fun. And Demario Davis, keep doing your thing, representing that Pelican State.
Exactly. So I have the Scolger Bam Bam moment
Let's go.
of the week. During the Detroit-Pittsburgh game,
Oh,
Detroit's safety, Will Harris, his hit on Pittsburgh tight end Pat Freiermuth happened with 8 seconds left in overtime and the Steelers in field goal range. It resulted in a fumble, which stopped the Steelers from attempting the game-winning field goal. It would have been about a 50-yarder, and the game ended in a tie.
that's awesome.
So if you're doing a bam-bam moment,
Clutch.
this stopped Detroit from getting the L.
I love that. That's heart. That's effort. That's never quitting. You got to have that. We got to have it.
Exactly.
That's a great effort.
So I'll get that link over to you guys.
Okay, that's awesome.
Okay. Let's get to the week 9 and 10 recaps of the Vikings.
Show them some love, Top Gun.
Give it again. We'll start with week 9 at Baltimore. Vikings are shorthanded on defense as 5 of their starters are out for the game. 5 starters out on defense.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's like 40%. Ravens on their opening drive face a 3rd and 2 at the Vikings 45-yard line. Opening drive, Cap, right? Vikings defensive end DJ Wanham grabs Ravens QB Lamar Jackson right on the number 8 of his jersey. Right on the number 8 of his jersey and pulls him down.
Front or back?
Back.
Okay.
Jackson fumbles and the Vikings recover at midfield. The opening drive, game changer.
No doubt.
Flag comes out for a horse collar. Let me explain a horse collar. A horse collar is when you grab above the back of the jersey around the neck area and reach inside, grab the uniform or on the nameplate
Or shoulder pads.
or shoulder pads and pull him down. It clearly he grabbed right on the number 8.
Was there a replay?
There was many replays.
Oh, boy.
So it resulted in not only a loss of possession for the Vikings, but a 15-yard penalty, which gave the first down for the Ravens. The officials clearly made the wrong call. So the league allows a challenge flag for everything else, but does not allow one for reversing a penalty. This rule needs to be changed. This was a quick change of events that I know it was early in the game,
Doesn't sound
but
right.
you can't have this. So the Ravens finish off the drive with a field goal and take a 3-0 lead. You know, Vikings defense tightened up 3-0 after that. I was okay with it. Vikings respond with a long TD pass from Cousins to Jefferson. Jefferson is a rock star stud. And I'm going to talk about him this game and the next game. This dude is awesome. Awesome. Stephon who? This guy is good. And no disrespect to Diggs. He's really good. But I'll take the 1/10 of the salary and younger. And you know, sky's the limit for this guy. So he scores on a long TD pass from Cousins at 7-3, and then they follow up on their next possession with a drive that ends with a Cousins TD run, and it's 14-3 Vikings. Then the Vikings get an interception from their rookie safety, Cameron Bynum, who was filling in for Harrison Smith. This guy, he played really well in this game and this Charger game, and he looks really promising. So we get the interception, but Cousins, every once in a while, it could be the play calling, so, you know, he's played great. Cousins played great. I got no concerns with him. I'm thinking it's the play calling. He throws, well, this is on him. He throws 2 awful passes, and they have to settle for a field goal after the turnover. It's for a 17-3 lead.
But you guys were in field goal range, though. That's good. We
Yes.
weren't able to manage that.
We were in field goal range, but we should have capitalized more. 2, awful passes. It almost looked like he had mallet finger.
Come on, man. Why you got to go there on me? Huh?
Anyway.
Why you got to go there?
As it's been all year, within the last 2 minutes of the half, the Vikings allowed the Ravens, with the help of a pass interference penalty, to go down the field and score the TD right before the half, cut the lead to 17-10. Prevent defense, Cap.
I can't stand
That prevents you from winning.
It sure does.
It needs to be shelved permanently. All right, get to the second half, and it started with another promising Viking rookie, Kenny Nwanju. He returned the kickoff 98 yards for a TD.
That's awesome.
And put us back up by 2 TDs, 24-10. Later in the game, he got a first down on a fake punt. This kid, that's why they cut Amir Abdullah. This kid,
He's the real deal.
I think he's going to probably be on the real deal team of the year, which now I just thought about. I'll put out at the end of the year.
Is he getting offensive reps too, or is he not?
He has not, because you have Madison and Cook to get him in there right now.
Yeah.
He'd be like Abdullah when one of the guys out. He'd step in there.
Nice.
All right. Ravens responded by converting 2 fourth downs, one from their own 38-yard line, which also included a 15-yard bench sideline penalty, which was a bogus call because the player was in street clothes. And all he did was he gave the guy a little push and a little shove.
You got to keep your hands off.
The second fourth down call was at the 1-yard line, and it cut the lead to 24-17. They scored on fourth down. Next possession, the Ravens went on a 10-minute drive, taking the life out of the clock. Their longest drive since 2000.
Those are brutal.
And they tied the game at 24. It went from 24-10 to 24-24. Now, keep in mind, when I got off the plane in Aruba, I popped on my phone. We're up 24-10. I drove 5 minutes to get to the hotel. It's 24-24.
That's not good. Not ideal.
Here we go again.
Stress.
All right. Vikings get the ball. What do? They go 3 and out.
Sounds familiar.
Way to give the defense some rest.
Exactly.
The Ravens, and march down the field. They score another TD. Now we're trailing 31-24. We were up 24-10.
How quickly the tide changes.
What I will say, though, and this is where Start gets positive for the rest of my podcast here. Cousins and the Vikings, the offense responded with a TD to tie the game at 31, which included a couple big plays. One was a 27-yard pass to the fullback, C.J. Ham, and the other was a 4th and 9 pass at the Ravens' 16-yard line to the stud, Justin Jefferson. He got down to the 4-yard line. All right, game, we scored after that, tie game, we go into overtime. Game goes overtime, and the Ravens, they get the ball. Vikings linebacker, Anthony Barr, he makes a great play. He tips the ball, and then he intercepts it. Finally, we're going to put this game away. Nope. Vikings again go 3 and out.
Oh, man.
We had a momentum changer, 3 and out. The defense is gassed. How many times can you put the defense out there after 3 and out? It's too many plays.
Yep. We know about that.
The Ravens moved them down the field and kick a field goal to take the win. 34-31. 5 losses by a combined 18 points.
Brutal.
Wow.
Brutal.
Wow. I was, however, happy with the effort and the fight.
No doubt.
After they went down.
No doubt.
So, Cap, before I get to the Charger recap, do you want to recap your game, or do you want me to get through that so you can take your pain all at once?
Yeah, let me just, because that pain pill is going to be brutal. Once you go ahead and finish up yours.
Because the Charger game,
I'll muscle through.
I'll get through there. So I expected another close game. 2 teams played a scoreless first quarter. Vikings opened the second quarter. So I'm already in the second quarter. I made it in 1 sentence.
That's good.
They opened the second quarter in Chargers territory at the 31-yard line, ended up with a Greg Joseph 46-yard field goal. It's 3-0 Vikings. Chargers answered with a field goal. Next possession, it's tied at 3-3. It appeared that Minnesota had a touchdown on their next possession on a 1-yard pass from Cousins to C.J. Ham, but it was wiped out by a holding penalty. That left the Vikings to settle for another field goal, 6-3 Vikes. On the Chargers' next offensive play, they just get the ball. Their next offensive play, linebacker Eric Kendricks. He makes a great diving interception of Justin Herbert, quarterback of the Chargers, sets Minnesota up with the ball at the Los Angeles 31-yard line. Finally, they capitalized by scoring a TD as Kirk Cousins got a 5-yard pass out to Tyler Conklin. Vikings are up 13-3. Next Chargers possession, they moved downfield, mostly because of Viking penalties. Check this out. 7 penalties in the second quarter alone. All year, Cap, all year I've been talking about penalties.
Yes, you have.
That's coaching. That's coaching.
And discipline.
Coaching and discipline. Yeah, but coaching has to get the discipline, or there has to be consequences. I'm a big believer of consequences.
I'm so glad you said that. We're gonna touch on that.
All right, so they score a TD again. When I talked about earlier how much points we give up close to halftime, it's 13-10. All right, Chargers take the lead for the first time in the opening drive of the second half, marching down the field. Ended with a 2-yard strike to Herbert to Eckler. Chargers are up 17-13. Less than 5 minutes in the third quarter. Vikings, they take the lead back on a 4th and goal play from the 1-yard line. 4th and goal. Got to give Zimmer a little credit for going it. Now it's 2017. There's 2.5 minutes left in the half. Vikings then added to their lead after a 3-and-out by the Chargers. Going down the field. Dalvin Cook finishes off. It's 27-17. Chargers, later in the game, they get back closer with a field goal. It's 27-20. There's 4 minutes left in the game. For me, way too much time for my liking. I've seen this movie before. We're up 27-20. The Vikings desperately needed a big drive to ice the game. and they got one, despite a personal foul on our tight end, Luke Stocker, to start the drive, on the first play of the drive. So we go from 1st and 10, personal foul, to 1st and 25, deep in our territory. We faced a 4th and 2 from the Los Angeles 36-yard line. So we had to either go for a field goal, which would have been 53 yards, but if we miss it, they get great field position.
They do.
So we go for it. Cook takes a pitch to the right, found the edge, picked up the first down. Chargers had no timeouts remaining. The Vikings knelt down, and the clock ended. The Vikings, go ahead, Cap.
Good old victory formation.
Good old victory. Yeah, victory. Yeah, 3-time victory formation. The Vikings now stand at 4-5 on the season, and they return home next week to face the hated Green Bay Packers. I, Billy Gold, and the real deal feel really good right now.
You should.
And if they beat the Packers, I see a nice run coming and ending the season at 10-7.
Well, you all should go into that game with some good confidence, because coming over here to the engine room to do this podcast today, I heard on the radio that the Packers are supposed to be the number 1 team in the NFL right now. And we'll talk about our game in a second, but you guys beat us. You've been in every single game. And that guy, Kendricks, that dude is clutch.
He's clutch.
This ain't the first time he's done some clutch stuff in the last minute. And as far as Zimmer goes, I mean, he may be with you for a little longer than you realize. I don't know, but you've been in every game. And then it just comes down to execution. So hats off to the Vikings. Hats off to the Scourgers.
I will say one thing, but that you brought that up. As I watch the league and the games in the league, there's week to week, you don't know what's going to happen. So I think hopefully the scales tip.
It's been so unpredictable of late. It makes it more fun, to be quite honest with you. But it's time for me to go through some painful.
So how do you spell fun? P-A-I-N?
I spell it Seahawks. But it's been not that much fun lately. So let's transition over to the Hawks real quick. So do you know who leads the NFL in tackles, at least before the Monday Night Football game?
Wagner?
Denzel Perryman from the Las Vegas Raiders. He leads the league with 102 tackles. Guess who's second?
Wagner?
Bobby Wagner, a.k.a. B-Wags. He has 101. And any idea who's third, just for fun?
Kendricks.
A young man named Foye Oluokun. He's a Yale graduate, and he has 100. He plays with the Atlanta Falcons.
Really? He's a Yale graduate? Did he play on the Yale football team?
Oh, yeah. They won a national championship his last year.
Huh.
Actually, he played with Jaden Graham. We mentioned his name before. But back to the Hawks. B-Wags is in his 10th season. He could tank it, but he doesn't. He doesn't roll that way, B-Gold. He has plenty of money. He has really no incentive other than just because of his motivation level to just give everything that he has, because he's a true Seahawk. We need the same type of energy and passion from our offensive coordinator. He needs to take his job just as seriously as Bobby Wagner does. The sad thing, though, B-Gold, is that our offensive coordinator doesn't even seem like he's engaged. In fact, and I really noticed it during the fright month of October, that he seems scared. And I can't really understand that. So I asked for permission from the Seahawks organization to just come in and listen to one of the offensive team meetings. Because if you don't know, generally the offensive coordinator the coach will address the whole team, then they'll break down into offense and defense. Offensive coaches go into the room, the offensive coordinator leads the meeting. Then they break down into position groups. Running back coaches go at running backs, tight ends with their coaches, etc. So I get a pass. They give me the approval. They do the background check and all that stuff. I get a chance to go listen in.
Are you going to pass that?
On Shane Waldron's. Oh, absolutely. On Shane Waldron's team meeting in preparation for the game against the Packers. And you know what I found when I went in there? I walk in the door. I see DK Metcalf sleeping. I see Tyler Lockett sleeping. I hear Coach Walgan up front doing blah, 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 blah. And there's no energy in the room because the guy is not telling them anything that's going to work. He has no life in his offensive packages. Now, week 1 against the Colts, he teased us all. He made it seem like, oh my goodness, look at all this different stuff I can do. The problem I have is that all the weapons are still there, but he doesn't get the rock to the people that need it consistently. He gets the tight ends involved, but nobody else.
Oh, wait. This week. Every other week. So he's
can't
listened.
put it all on the same page.
He's listened to the podcast.
I believe he's been listening.
to the
I
podcast.
even
You know what he
thanked
said?
him.
He said, Cap said,
Get
I
the
got
tight ends
to
involved."
get rid of everybody else and just get it to the tight ends. That's what he heard from our podcast.
I always tell him, don't forget the tight ends. I didn't say forget about everybody else and focus on one position group. Alex Collins was productive in the game. He doesn't keep giving him the rock. I think he's too much in a hurry to try to score and make the splash play as opposed to doing what the 49ers did to the Rams on Monday night by running the ball 40 times. It may not be pretty to the outside, but to people that play football, it's a beautiful thing because you're wearing that tailbone out of your opponent. And that helps your offense. It keeps your O-lineman happy. A happy O-lineman is a good O-lineman. And then you can work your other packages off of the fact that they think you're going to punch him in the mouth again. I don't know what the deal is with my guy, man. I want him to be successful, be gold, but the display of our offensive coordinator has been horrific, and it's so frustrating to watch because we got all the talent to beat anybody in the league every single week, and it ain't happening.
So your offensive coordinator, he might have something on his mind.
Like what?
Well,
he needs to have offensive schemes and attacking defenses on his mind, but what's he got on his mind?
He might have something on his mind. Now, if you just flip up your notebook over there and pull out that piece of paper
inside the notebook,
yeah, he might have something on his mind.
Let's see what trap you laid for me.
Abandon ship!
Oh,
Abandon ship!
no. He ain't thinking that way.
Abandon ship!
We don't do that where we come from, man. We don't jump off the ship. We stay onto that freaking thing sinks. And if I got to stay on it last as the captain, I'm going to do it. All right? Ain't no quit in us. Now, listen, it looks crazy, doom and gloom. Realistically, we're only one game out of a wild card spot. We have to hang on to that. We got to hang on to it. Now, you got a glimpse of the offensive team meetings. Coach Waldron, I need you to step up, man. If you don't do it, and whoever was attached to hiring you, everybody's going to get a dark mark on their record. And that may end up, we may lose some people behind it. So I want you to stay on board, but you got to show us something, man.
I did pretty good with the colors, huh?
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. I don't like what he's got, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture that says Seahawks. And then under the A of Seahawk, he's got abandoned. And then under the S of the Seahawks, he's got ship with our logo on the bottom.
But the colors are spot on, right?
So we don't roll.
Come on, match it up with your shirt.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
it's
actually.
Perfect, right? That's
then
beautiful.
the logo's spot on, traditional. But really quickly, our defense, man, we kept the Packers to three points well into the fourth quarter. And our offense did not do anything to help us out. And we had a couple of knucklehead penalties, one on defense with Carlos Dunlap. Didn't cost the game, but it was not smart. He grabs the cleat of a guy that on the other team and throws it. That's an automatic 15-yarder. And then we had DK grab a guy's face mask.
I saw that one.
Get thrown out of the game. Then he tries to go back in the game. Come on, man. We can't be doing that type of stuff. We got to help each other, not hurt each other. And that was very frustrating. I watched every painful play. And of course, my phone blew up.
Welcome to my world.
No, I lived this before because I've been a Seahawks fan for a minute. But it's just hard to see when we have all this talent and it's not being utilized. I see all these other teams getting the ball to their playmakers and being competitive and having a chance to win. Our offense didn't give us a chance to win, and that's very frustrating.
All right,
let's go.
All right, here are my thoughts.
Oh, and real quick,
all right.
Russell was 20 for 40 for 161 yards and 2 picks. So I've come to the conclusion that Russell Wilson wasn't playing Sunday for us. That was his double, Rusty Wilson.
Rusty Wilson.
But he's not going to show up again. He won't show up again.
All right.
Okay, Rusty is banned from the facilities. And Russell will be back on Sunday.
We hope so. I never wish anything bad about it. We goof around, but we both root for each other's teams.
Oh, absolutely.
But to have a little fun with the podcast, I gotta throw a little something. That just
why wouldn't you?
Get you thinking. All right, here's my thoughts. Seahawks defense played well, but their coaching staff let them down.
Yeah, in the form of?
Well, they shouldn't have never allowed Russell Wilson to play.
That's another thing. See, can I segue really quickly onto something?
You can.
Because I was talking to Top Gun before the show today. And before he takes his jet up, he has a crew that does pre-flight checks that he verifies afterwards to make sure everything is good to go, or he ain't going to get up in the air.
Yep.
Same concept. If you're the O coordinator, your job is to check off on who's able to ball.
Correct.
And if they're not there, You got to have the courage to say, guess what, my
There
friend?
was no courage.
You're grounded today.
You're grounded.
And Gino goes
For the
up.
benefit of the team.
For the benefit
Now,
of the team.
Russell Wilson's never going to say, I don't want to play.
Never. He's too
Never.
competitive.
He's too competitive. So
that's where the coach comes in.
I said it before.
And say it again.
And I'll say it again. I had that injury.
Yes, you did.
And until it is fully healed, like my passes on the beach, because I had a rolled up ankle, they will not be as precise. During this game, it was very obvious. And I will follow up with this final statement. If they really believed in Geno Smith, they should have played him.
No, I think it's a courage thing because
Well, the offensive coordinator, the coach got to shut that down.
I think if you have a coach like, and people say what they want to about Mike Tomlin, if he thinks that you're not ready, you're not going. And there are a few coaches like that in the NFL. Now, that's Russell Wilson. And Russell, credit to you for balling.
I agree.
And credit for you for...
He's not going to say no.
Of course not. And you got to know that as a coach, though. That's where you got to do your job and say, guess what?
What's he going to say? Oh, coach, yeah, my finger still hurts. I'm not playing. He would have played last week.
Yeah, and I mean, and he only had really 2 horrible throws, but if you give the player the option, you're not doing your job, you're not doing your team justice, especially if the players during the week know, yo, Russell, you've been off this week, bro. Maybe Geno starts the game and let him see what he does. If he can't get it, then maybe you pull Russell in if the doctor's clear him to play. But you know what? Get the egos up out of here and have some goddamn courage, coaches.
All right, my final observation on that game. The Seahawks finally got, as you requested, their tight end position involved. As Gerald Everett had 8 catches for 63 yards. I think they only had 10 offensive plays, and he had 8 catches.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I've looked at the remaining schedule.
What you thinking?
I've looked at the remaining schedule, and I see a 4-4 record the rest of the way, which would end the season at 7-10. Your thoughts?
You know what? Right now, if we lose one more game and win the rest and win out, we're going to probably make the playoffs. So guess what? I'm going to hang my hat on. I'm going to hang my hat on winning every single game going out forward. Period. That's it, baby. We go hard to the end.
I'm rooting along with you and the 12s. I'm rooting along with you guys. I looked at the schedule. There's a couple easy pickings in there, but there's some. You got the Cardinals twice. Still.
With us, there's nothing easy, but nothing would make me happier than to fight our way into the playoffs and then go against these Green Bay smack talkers once more in their house and finish this thing.
All right. Fun fact number 1. Give me the skull horn. I don't know if you knew this, Cap. The Vikings have scored a total of 41 points on their opening drives this year, which is number 1 in the NFL.
That's a lot better than what I can say. That's a really good number.
All right. Fun fact number 2.
I know you're going to dig this.
The Vikings are the only team in the NFL to lead by 7 or more points in every game.
Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive.
The not so fun fact. The last 2 minutes prior to halftime, the Vikings have given up 45 points, which is tied with the Giants for the most in the NFL.
That's like the other side of the
So we're scoring
scale.
41 in the opening drive. We're giving up 44, 45 before half. We're down 4 at the half.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. Game balls at Baltimore. None. We lost. At the Chargers, Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins both had huge performances. Justin Jefferson, 9 catches, 143 yards. Cousins, 25 of 37 for 294 and a pair of touchdowns. Wow. Give me the skull horn.
Captain Clutch.
Okay. Cap, unless you have anything else, I think it's time to get to the Week 11 picks.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Book when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guide, he goes by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed, in comes the real deal. He's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Blue Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. The picks. Battle tested.
Okay. on to the picks. But first, let's review the season prediction record after the week 9 and 10 results. Week 9 are the games we picked. Week 10 was our bye week. So, Cap, week 9, you went 9-5. You're now 88-46 for the season.
I'm trying to do what I can. There's people paying attention to this segment right here, B Gold. So.
Yeah, I hope they didn't pay attention to me that week. I went 6-8. I'm now 82-52, which is still very respectable.
Yeah.
But I'm 6 games behind you.
Well,
I gotta step my game up.
I got confidence in you, my brother.
All right, now I know we had talked about not picking our own teams because we always pick our own teams. But heck no!
No, we're doing
We're
it.
going with it.
Just listen, take it with a grain of salt. That's on you.
Exactly. So if you want to give yourself a loss, give yourself a loss.
Yeah, go with your heart on that one, but I'm
Exactly.
riding with my people.
Exactly. So as far as the Vikings and the Cat, we'd both be undefeated right now.
Exactly.
All right. Before I pick the Mike, you can actually throw the fun fact soundbite over this music while we're doing this. So I got a fun fact before the Green Bay Minnesota pick.
I know you're gonna dig this.
All right. 5 players who played for the Packers and the Vikings. Quarterback Brett Favre, obviously an easy one. Kicker Jan Stenerud. Wide receiver Greg Jennings. Kicker Ryan Longwell. And the reason why I did this is somebody you should know well, Cap. Former Seahawk wide receiver Corin Robinson.
Oh, yeah. Corin.
Who, in his time as a Viking, made the Pro Bowl as a returner.
Yeah, he was nice.
He was nice.
What up, Corin, if you out there?
Exactly. So, this is a make or break for the Vikings, and if the phrase everything balances out is true, this is where the Vikings turn the corner. They have lost 5 games, as I said earlier, by a combined total of 18 points. The talent is there. Coming off a road win at the Chargers, the Vikings win at home 24-20.
I got the Minnesota Vikings representing themselves and the Scourgers at home, beating Green Bay 28-24. Let's go, Skull.
I'm glad you picked them, but I do feel that because you're mad at the Packers from the Seahawks, that might have had a little something to do with it.
You know what?
But I'm taking it.
I'm going to tell you something. Guess what's going to happen? Their offensive coordinator, whoever they might be, is going to get the rock into Justin Jefferson's hands and to Dalvin Cook's hands. And they're going to let their playmakers ball out. And guess what? Green Bay ain't going to be able to stop them.
Good. I'm joking with you. All right.
I'm serious.
Let's move on to Arizona at Seattle. So, Cap, why don't you go first on this one?
Okay, before you predict your blowout win by the Cardinals. All right, listen up, everybody. This is going to sound crazy, but it's not crazy. Rusty Wilson ain't showing up no more. Russell Wilson will be in Lumen Stadium on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. And we're going to beat the Arizona Cardinals 17-14.
Wow, low scoring
Watch what
game.
happens.
17-14.
Our defense is going to do what they do.
All right.
Oh, and Jamal Adams, I see you got your first pick, man. Well done.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. That was a horrible pass.
We needed it.
Yeah, that's a
We
horrible
don't care. We take what we can get.
So, like I said earlier, Seattle should have given Russell Wilson another week or possibly 2 off.
I don't know what he looked like during the week, but if he looked off like that during the week, they should have shut him down, man.
I'm just hoping that by them allowing him out there does not result in permanent damage.
Nah, he'll be all right.
I'll show you a finger that's healed wrong. It's right here. I got to get the calcium cut off that bad boy.
That's B Gold's right pinky finger, y'all. He can't put that diamond ring on there no more.
I just think at this point, I just think the Cardinals are the better team.
Okay.
I got 30-20 Arizona.
They go, yo, defense, you hear that? They say they're going to drop 30 on us. Get my uniform ready. I'm suiting up.
All right, let's get to the other Week 11 game predictions. Woo!
Uh-oh, here he is. What's up, Mr. Flair?
Thank you for joining us as always, Mr. Flair. New England at Atlanta, the Thursday night game. New England rolls along. They win again, 27-16.
Yeah, New England goes into Atlanta's house and takes care of business 30-17.
37. All right, we're pretty
football.
close. We're pretty close.
That's a close one.
All right, I got my lock of the week. Houston At Tennessee, easy, breezy win for the Titans, 31-13.
Wow, I got Titans winning at home 30-13.
All right, so
Thinking the same thing. Nothing's easy in my world, though.
all right, let's move on to Baltimore at Chicago.
Ooh.
The Bears, they're going to fight hard at home, but they're going to come up short. I got Baltimore 23, Chicago 17.
Yeah, Baltimore's gonna go in there like it's their house. They're gonna win 31-13.
All right, you got a blowout there.
Yeah.
Fields has been playing better, but there's not much around him.
Well, you watching Kansas City and Dallas and Buffalo?
Yes.
Don't think that Baltimore's not watching that. So they're gonna show up because everybody else is starting to show up.
Bears do get David Montgomery back. That should help them a little bit. Okay, let's move it. New Orleans at Philly. I see Philly winning at home in a really, really close game because I'm not confident in New Orleans quarterback situation. I got 24-23 Eagles.
Yeah, that was my problem, the quarterback situation, because I would have generally picked New Orleans to go in there and beat Philly, but Philly's going to win 21-10. They're starting to look better and better gradually every week.
They are.
And they're going to hold it down at home. The fans want that bad.
All right, let's move on to Indy at Buffalo. Buffalo, they found their stride lately. Found their stride. You know, they're getting it together. I got Buffalo 27, Indy 20.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. Indianapolis is good, but Buffalo is better. They're going to win at home 28-17, Buffalo.
28-17. Okay, let's move on to Detroit at Cleveland. I'm not sure who the Cleveland QB is going to be, but they have enough to win. Detroit's been playing better, though, as they did with the tie last week. I got Cleveland 20, Detroit 17.
You know what? I'm flipping my score here. This is going to be my upset of the week. There's something about Detroit and their fight that I like, and I think they're going to show it to Cleveland and shock everybody. I'm going to flip my score. I'm going to say Detroit 28, Cleveland 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the road, an 11-point
Let's
victory.
go. Let's go see what happens when you're dealing with professionals.
Okay. Washington at Carolina. Cam Superman Newton's 1 week resurrection does not continue. Even with the ACL injury to Washington defensive end Chase Young. Tyler Hanke and the gang come out on top 24-20.
You're going to see something. You're going to see what happens when there's a wave of energy that can't be stopped in Carolina. That Sunday, Carolina's going to knock Washington off 35-10.
Wow.
I'm telling you, there's something going on in Carolina right now, and they're not going to waste this opportunity.
They do have McCaffrey back, and he helps out a lot.
Exactly. See, I didn't want to mention that, but yes, I'm glad you put that out there.
All right, let's move on to San Francisco and Jacksonville. Now, I made this pick prior to watching San Francisco play on Monday night. San Francisco was balling on Monday.
Yes, they
so
were.
I originally had this as a close game. Now, Jacksonville continues to improve. I have San Francisco winning. I originally had it 23-21, but I'm going to up that to 30-21.
Yeah, did you know a couple weeks ago when we played Jacksonville, they were leading the league in rushes per yard?
I believe that.
5.1.
James Robinson's pretty good.
And we smoked that stuff. We took care of that. But anyway, back to the game. San Francisco's going to go in there and beat them 35-17.
35-17.
Yep.
Was that win number 1, 2, or 3 for you guys?
Let's move on to the next game. Oh, man. Yo, Seahawks, give me something to work with, baby. Give me some ammo. I got nothing.
Final 1 p.m. game. We got Miami at the Jets.
Oh, man.
I didn't even write a comment for this one. You want to know why? Because it's so up in the air. Is Tua playing? Are they going to bench him? Who's quarterbacking for the Jets? Is it White? Is Wilson coming back? Or are they going to get Wilson from upstairs? I got no comments.
Oh, man. Who you got, bro?
I got the Jets 2017.
I'm taking the Jets at home 20-10.
All right.
The Dolphins.
I don't know why.
The Dolphins have been a major letdown.
Major letdown. Okay, let's move on to another 4 p.m. game. We got Cincy at the Raiders. Both teams need this victory.
Yes, they do.
They both need, but I got the Bengals winning on the road 30-20.
Okay, I got Vegas taking care of business at home 30-27.
Oh, close one. Tight.
Yeah, I think David Carr's
Tight.
going to make the difference with that one. And that running game.
All right, this is my game of the week.
Which one?
The Cowgirls
Ooh,
at the Chiefs.
Coming at them like that.
Cowgirls at the Chiefs.
What you got?
How about them Cowboys? Not this week. Chiefs win a high-scoring affair, 40-30.
Wow, yeah, I have a shootout also. Mahomes, you see what he did last week
I
in that
did.
squad? They're going to get it done, 41-38. Dak ain't going to lay down easy for you,
They're not.
but there's going to be some slinging in that game.
There it
and
is.
Kansas City's going to come out on top.
All right, let's move to the Sunday night game. Pittsburgh coming off a tie to the Lions
I wish y'all could see Big O's face right now.
at the Chargers.
Oh, man.
I see the Chargers rebounding from their loss to the Vikings, and I see them winning at home 24-20.
Yeah, LA is they're gonna expose Pittsburgh a little bit in this game because there's some things that Pittsburgh won't be able to do to shut them down. LA Chargers 30, Pittsburgh 20. Pittsburgh will fight, but not enough.
Not enough. All right, move on to the Monday night game.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Giants at the Bucks.
What you got, B Gold? Can you
know-
do me a favor? Real deal? Can Real Deal come in and call that game? Real Deal, what you got, bro? Monday night.
Monday night. I got the Bucks rebounding after an embarrassing. What did the coach say? He said, "You played dumb.
He did say that.
You played dumb." And he said the coaching staff was dumb. I got the Bucks 34, Giants 13.
Yeah, no professional likes to be embarrassed and thrown under the bus like that by your superiors. So Tampa Bay is going to win 40-17. Giants just don't have enough.
40,
They will
17.
fight, but they don't have enough.
I got you. All right. Let's move on to our fantasy football league.
And before we get into the fantasy football league, I just want to speak on something real quick.
All right.
For those that don't know, in the college football ranks, it's rivalry week. And my alma mater is balling out right now, and our rivalry game is coming up. So to all the Montana State University Bobcats out there, when you go into that Grizzly Stadium this weekend, break them off, knock them back, get the W, and win the call of the Wild. It's your time. Go Cats, beat Grizz. Had to get that out.
Hey, went perfect over the underlaying music. Went perfect.
Johnny King, what's up, baby?
Exactly. So my alma mater didn't play football.
Meade University has a football team.
But they did have Manute Bowl.
Are you serious?
Yes. And do the fans? We have to tell the fans who Manute Bowl is.
You got to tell him who he is, and you got to tell him where he went to school. Holy smokes, man.
He was a center in the National Basketball Association. Now, he was a tall dude.
Yes, he was.
You know, he used to pat me on the head.
Is he like 7'6"?
Yeah, he's like 7'6".
Yeah.
He used to rest his lunch bag on my head. but he was skinny as a rail. Skinny as a rail.
Thin. He was thin.
Yeah. Now he could dunk without raising his arm.
Yes, he could. Without getting off the ground.
Yes. And anyway, University of Bridgeport.
That's cool.
Exactly.
That's awesome, actually.
Way back in the day. All right. Fantasy football update.
Let's go.
Real Deal remains in first place as they improve to 7-3 behind the wide receiver group. Diggs, Stebo Samuel, each had 30 points. Cooper Kupp contributed with 23, leading to a 140-123 victory. Caps team, Destiny's Travelways. Despite a valiant effort from CeeDee Lamb, nobody else showed up.
It's the truth, y'all.
They were defeated 110-79. They fall to 1-9. They are in last place, and they are on the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb was out there by himself.
He was
Kind of like our defense last week.
He had a great week, but
He did.
all right. Finish it up with the starters for the week 11. QB Josh Allen. I have to start Elijah Mitchell, San Francisco running back. James Robinson, running back of Jacksonville. Receivers, Diggs, Buffalo, Deebo Samuel, San Fran. Cooper Kupp's on the bye, so that kind of hurts me a little bit this week. I'm going to throw David Montgomery in the flex to sit in for Kupp. And then I got my tight end, second best tight end in the league, Darren Wall, the baller. However, you know
Behind Greg Kittle.
what? No, he's third.
He's number one, bro.
You got Kelsey first.
He's back now.
He's better than Kelsey?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, so now next week we might have the little tight end talk.
Let's do the stat lines for those three for the rest.
My defense is in. We're going to add a fourth guy who's come out of nowhere. We have the defense for the week is Pittsburgh, and my kicker, Greg Joseph from the Scolders. been nailing 9 and 10 points a
Yeah,
week
he's
since
helping you
I
out.
made a trade to get rid of the kicker who had 0 points this week.
Yeah.
That would be
We had a
Cap.
bunch of goose eggs this week.
So, the tight end, before you get to your team, the tight end in mind is none other than Minnesota Vikings Tyler Conklin.
You got him?
I got him.
Okay.
He has been balling.
Can he handle Green Bay?
He can handle Green Bay. I'm going to put the stat line out there, at least for points, for fantasy points. Tyler Conklin, he will not start over Darren Ebola Waller, but I got Conklin. Got Conklin for 12 fantasy points this week.
Okay.
You know, which is a pretty good for a tight end.
Yes, really good.
What do you got for a fantasy, Cap?
All right, Rusty Wilson is not on the roster. Russell Wilson's back on, starting against the Cardinals. Go get him, Russ. We got you, bro. And I know you got us. Kenyon Drake, Las Vegas Raiders, against Cincinnati's defense. Go get him, Kenyon. Javonte Williams is on a bye week, so I got Alex Collins, a.k.a. Always Cool, going against the Cardinals.
Is Carson back yet?
No. He
I got him
traveled
on my
with
IR.
the team,
Yep.
but they didn't clear him to play, or they didn't play him, something to that effect. But he wasn't greenlit all the way.
Gotcha.
So I need Alex Collins to ball out for me. Otherwise, I'm really hurting. But Jalen Waddle for Miami against the Jets. A.J. Brown for Tennessee against the Houston team. And CeeDee Lamb going against Kansas City. That's the Dallas Cowboy wide receiver that you just heard B-Go talking about. George Kittle, San Fran, back on the map, going against Jacksonville. And our Seattle defense. Yes, I'm starting the Seattle defense against Arizona. Not afraid. And Jason Myers, Seattle kicker. You got me a goose egg last week,
Goose
brother.
egg.
Can you help me out against Arizona and help me get some ammunition against B Gold?
What's the status of Murray, the quarterback for the
It
Cardinals?
was still up in the air as of this morning, but if there's a chance for him to play, he probably will.
Who's their backup?
Don't know, and I would love to see him.
I'm sure he would. All right.
I would. I don't know who it is.
That brings us to the end of the podcast. And once again, Scolders, 12s, all the football fanatics out there, thanks for tuning in today. Get the word out on the street to check out all of our episodes. We're piling them out there. Vikings coming off a huge road win to improve to 4-5. They now have a chance to get back to 500 this week as their hated rival, Green Bay, visits US Bank Stadium. This is the pivotal point in the season. Win, and we are back in the hunt. Lose, and start the search, which I've been calling for weeks anyway, for the next head coach.
Since
Cat,
week one.
Yeah, exactly. Since week one, at least. Cat, bring us home.
So, Scolders, I love the energy I'm sensing from the land of the purple. There's optimism, hope, playoff positioning discussion. I love it. Y'all are on a roll, and I hope you stay that way. The Seahawks, we're on a roll too. Unfortunately, we're rolling downhill, backwards, and on a hill covered with oil. Oh, and it's starting to snow. It's all right, though. The fight is not won yet. We will find our offensive coordinator, and he will not be afraid. We're going to take care of that. Just get a simple game plan. Defense and special teams, do your job. Hold up. And that's really it. So despite all the murk, B Gold, and to all you 12s and Scolders out there in the Emerald Nation, we're still just one game out of a possible wild card spot. So the options are clear, and there are only two of them. One, tuck your tail, throw in the towel, shut down for the next year and explore the roster to see what you have. Or option two, hit the weight room, hit the film room. Don't cry, don't ask for sympathy. Buckle up, show up, ball out, and go seize the next opportunity like a professional. So Hawks and 12s, let's hit up option two. Scolders, destroy the Packers. And Skol on. Seahawks, 12s, Emerald Nation, ignore the noise and focus. There's work to do. Let's go. Peace, y'all, and see you next week.